the Authentic Life. We are here with two very good friends, Leisa Holland Nelson and Steve Winter, and we have fallen in love with their journey on our website. And can anyone believe that love and happiness goes together with a website? So many people. Rob,
This is a tough one here. I'm trying to follow this, but I have had the worst experiences with websites for the 18 years we've been together, because Danae's like, we got to get on the web. We got to do this. We got to do this. And we'd give people money, and I'd build this great platform, and it was a POS, and it never worked. It never worked.
Not
it never
many
worked.
point of sale.
Not point of sale. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Just clarify.
So I wake up every morning, and I'm thankful because it works, and people actually say, I saw your website, I was able to follow you, and we're able to get business from it and monetize it, versus I had this empty hole in the backyard. I just kept throwing not $50 bills, $100 bills, $1,000 bills, and it just never seemed to work. But
well, he's our poster child. I just want to thank you very much for
and this
your
was
total
unsolicited.
negativity
I'm finally happy.
For months. I mean, I don't think we could even get you to the table. You finally came over one day, and then were absorbed by Steve.
Kicking,
Yes.
no, we came in kicking and screaming.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I don't believe in this.
The one thing we know is this man is living the authentic life. Everything he knows in his head, he says
It's
out
true.
loud. But we're going to talk about how you guys live your authentic life, because everything you do is about community and connection and purpose, and it shows in everything you do. Specifically, we love working with you guys on this new for me, but AVDA, helping victims of trafficking,
Domestic abuse.
abuse. So we're going to introduce you first, and then we're going to dive into fun things and challenging things and how you help people with their problems in their business, because you certainly have helped us. So Rob stalked Steve, and now I think he has a bromance.
Oh, I did all kinds of stalking. But all right, so Steve Winter is the CEO of Astoundz, and he used to run a company called Ergos, which was a technology company, similar field, also had a radio show at a time. Graduated from UT, even though my wife's an Aggie. Got an MBA here in Houston, so he's a couple great kids. I mean, you've done a lot of wonderful, wonderful things, and I guess Houston is your home.
Houston is my home now. Absolutely. Been here since '85.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I'm married someone who's born and raised here. So
Paula.
So we're pretty entrenched here at this point, to say the
It's,
least.
I moved here in the early 2000s, and thought I'd just visit for a few years because my father lived here and I lived here as a child, and now it's home. I wouldn't move anywhere. I mean, it's home to me. I love Texas.
Absolutely.
Love Houston.
Me too.
And then your other, Paula is your wife, but Lisa is absolutely
My work wife.
your
Work
work
wife.
wife.
Yeah.
Yes. And this woman is so renowned. I met you through I don't know how many charity events where I would see you there, and you knew everyone in the room, and you light up a room with your energy and your grace and your style. And I think my favorite title for you is grandmother, because you just adore your grandkids so much.
I do.
But you've done so much for women in the community, and I think that's and throughout the country, and you've always worked for women, women in business, been involved in different platforms, and today we're going to dive into so many of those things, March of Dimes, which we talked about on our prior podcast, and different things. But connection is what you guys do best. So tell us how you became partners together.
through just networking. We've known each other probably, I don't know if it was through HTC originally, maybe, or
like
not.
14 or 15 years.
Oh, it's at least,
Yeah.
well, it's been probably more than that. We met a long time ago. I believe in knowing my competitors and friends and complimentary people and all that, and we all got to know each other. Completely different business. Ergos was I call it the plumbing side of IT. We took care of all the infrastructure and all that, and we were touching 500 or 600 companies a month around taking care of all their IT, and I met Lisa, and they were doing the web work and all. And so then, fast forward, I sell Ergos, I'm out doing real estate, doing other things, and I start a new IT company, and didn't really want to get in the pretty business. I just really wanted to do SEO work and not have to build websites, but we learned we have to build websites to be effective today. They've got to be built from the ground up to do well with SEO. And so what did I do but went and talked to someone who was in the pretty business.
I'm happy to be the pretty partner here. And it just worked out that my partner at Content Active and I were just ready to go in different directions in the business. I absolutely love the consumer-facing website, working with the clients, marketing, growing their businesses. And that's what Steve really needed. And we met for lunch, and I will never forget this. He pulls his laptop out at lunch and shows me this really terrible website for Astoundz. However, the product was incredible and what he was doing. And I remember leaving, like we stood up to leave, and I thought, God, I want to do that. And we made a date for him to come over and meet with us. And by the time we got to the car, I said, you know, we're considering separating the company. What do you think? And he said, keep me engaged. And we just kept talking and we kept talking, and it all worked out that by March 1st, this was in August, by March 1st of 2017, we merged Content Active into Astoundz. So it was a pretty crazy first month. I mean, like,
Yo, you think?
I mean, we brought over like 160 websites or whatever and crashed like while he was on the golf course.
I wasn't on the golf course. No, I was sleeping. I was sleeping in Austin, going to play golf that morning, and I wake up to that. You know, we've got
screaming alarms.
servers down and all kinds of stuff, and we knew we needed to get them off some old infrastructure. We just weren't planning on doing it in
9 days.
in 10 days versus 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
But we had to just come in and do it, and unfortunately weren't able to communicate as well as we wanted to with our clients. But through all of it, and I think they realized our intent was in the right place to get them moved and get them where they needed to be immediately, and then they all saw results immediately too. So it really helped, but forced us to make a big transition very quickly.
But I think that's the truth. Like whenever we interview people that are successful, and I consider you guys successful because you're balanced in family and in community and financial success, you go through pain. And I think that was the hard part for us, is it's like you got us, and we were so, like, our past website companies had cheated on us, so we're just like, what are you doing and when is it going to happen? Because it takes time. And then what I also say to people is it's a journey. It's never a destination. You don't land there and have a website done and check that box. It's just like your business. And I mean, COVID, goodness. I mean, talk about pivot.
Right.
But I'm so glad we got it done before.
Absolutely.
I mean, seriously.
It helped us make it through because March, we're on spring break, and then all of a sudden, we're not allowed to come home. They shut the whole place down, and Janae's like, what are we going to do for revenue? And that's when we had our website going, and then we tweaked it more with new SEO, new words. You guys threw out, we wanted antique wedding rings a few weeks ago. And Eugene looks at me and goes, that's the 8th person today that's asked for an antique wedding ring. He goes, what happened? I said,
no, he thought it was a new trend in design. He goes, is there a new trend for antique wedding rings? And we were like, yes, it's called Astoundz SEO.
There you go.
But it was pretty shocking. He's like, where's that one tray we have stashed?
Yeah.
So we pulled out an old tray, and I said, the old rings we'd had put away because it just wasn't popular recently. All of a sudden, they're all knocking on our doors. So it does work, and believe me, I was the worst skeptic. I kicked, screamed, it's not my field. I buy and sell in people face to face, and I had to learn the new way because we're far enough away, we're distancing, we're all using our lotions, we're all washing and worrying about our health, and everyone's getting their temperatures taken because the world changed so much. And a lot of people got sick, and a lot of people got better, but some didn't.
But y'all been a great client too. I mean, yes, you were kicking and screaming coming in and all that, but we hopefully we were able to keep it calm with y'all and see it. But all the work you all have done on Facebook and these podcasts and all the different things that you do also help out, and we love clients being engaged. If the client just sits back and goes, well, why am I not getting any business? Or it's because you're not doing anything. You also have to be engaged and we have to know that antique wedding rings is now something, or that we want to go after it or whatever. And things pivot and change all the time, especially in the IT world. And that's where y'all been a lot of fun to work with too, because y'all are doing a lot of neat stuff and y'all have done a lot. And then, the one thing too, the fact that you all buy a lot of stuff. y'all don't just sell, but you buy a lot. And the old site didn't even talk about buying stuff.
Well, and
You
that
know?
was just a no-brainer for when you guys saw it, but we never even thought of that. And then now you've helped us evolve to, because it's COVID, it's buy, sell, and connect. Because now we want to be there for people, not just from a sales standpoint, but from an education. And Rob is quite entertaining if people want to listen to him. He's the guy who's the husband at the dinner table. The wife is kicking because he's saying the inappropriate thing. But I think it's like, I make this comparison like working out. Is you go to a trainer and you say, I want to be fit. It's like you've got to eat right. You need to sleep. You need to take care of your body. It's not just a one.
I'm taking that one. That's great. That's perfect.
It's
It's a great
the
analogy.
best example. It's like you
Yeah.
can't just do one thing.
No.
And everything in life has layers. So let's talk about the COVID pivot. What have you guys done differently with your clients?
Well, I think we've tried to communicate. The one thing that I think that we've always felt strongly about was transparency. And again, we'll talk about this later, no surprises. So I think one of the things that we've done that's been successful for us, honestly, is reaching out with our newsletter and being personal. Like we spent like 6 newsletters in a row being personal, talking about what was the new normal, and our response was just extraordinary. So I think that's part of it. I think that I think Astoundz, one of the greatest things we do is that we are very process driven. We joke and say that Steve Winter has a standard operating procedure for going to the restroom.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
that Asana
you know
is about to take us under. We're like, how do you sign on to Asana?
Everything we do. Actually, he rewards our team members for
That's
putting
smart.
up a new standard operating procedure. So everything is consistent, which made it pretty easy for our team to go work at home. So we went off right away. I mean, you
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah,
what
we were.
did.
I mean, we were immediately built
Yeah,
to work,
remote.
remotely and everything else. So it was everything was seamless for us. I mean, if you call our office, it always rings our desk phone and our cell phone. With everything we do, we already had Zoom and all those things set up, obviously, and we live in a web world. So it was perfect for us. But, the pivot we've seen is really with our clients, right? I mean, so many of them now have realized that not only do they need a website, but they also, many of them need to be able to do commerce over the web.
E-commerce.
And, yeah. And so, you do have to have a point of sale system out there. And the ones that had, some of them would put a little bit of inventory. Now they're getting a lot more inventory out there. They are giving away where people giving people an opportunity to literally buy through their website. And where people hadn't really wanted to do that, and they thought it was more high touch. As we've all learned in this world, high touch is now digitally happening. It's just not face to face anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I kept running around saying that if you couldn't be found in this little phone in your hand, you were like dead meat, which is a horrible thing to say, but like, how are you going to continue to do business? And it seemed that the world was realizing that, obviously, at the same time. The other thing I think is really important and has to do with you guys was that the e-commerce product we put together with you is really powerful. I mean, it's really great. And we worked with a lot of different people who were using, I'll just use the word, Shopify, and not getting the results that we have been able to deliver. And we're not using it so much as other retailers. We've got pipe companies and all
everything.
kinds of companies using that engine that we've created. So that's really been great for us.
Yeah.
The
And I want to say,
e-commerce
too,
product.
that we struggle because after COVID, the amount of revenue that we're doing in a year changed. The amount of employees we have was lowered. I think everyone's rethinking how they run their business to be profitable. And so we didn't have the employees to post as much, but we still found ways to connect and communicate. And we can sell through our Instagram feed and through our Facebook
Yeah.
and all of that, and get people to contact us. So it doesn't mean, and that's what we were always hesitant about. Okay, so we're going to invest in this website, but then we're going to have 4 employees taking pictures, posting, answering calls. And you created a way that it could work with our business. And I think that's also like that customization, and it goes back to connection. From the research I've done, I believe that connection is seeing and hearing someone where they are without judgment. So we could say, hey, we can't afford to hire more people, or we can't justify that expense right now, whatever it is. This is where we are. And you heard us, and you saw it, and you found an answer to it. And that's where the commitment comes in.
Well, the other thing is too, and with Google, they came out with an algorithm update called YMYL. About a year and a half ago, called Your Money, Your Life. And what they really wanted to see in websites was expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, okay? For you all, authentic, right? But that's what we did. And on the homepage, you all are on the homepage. That's who people are doing business with, and they want to know that they can trust who they're doing business with. And so that's the other thing. We wanted to have y'all front and center out there, because people, to go spend $10,000 or $20,000 on a watch or a handbag or whatever, they want to know it's real and it's authentic, right? And all that. And the way they've got to do that is through trust. And they see that through your reviews. They see that through all of your, how personal you all are. Same thing, why you all are successful, right? You all are authentic and put good product out there and stand behind what you do. And we had to get that message on the website also.
And my favorite thing that you did during COVID was that email that you sent, that Leisa, you made it personal, and you said, I'm here for you. I know this is hard. I've been through hard things before. I don't know what your struggle is, but call me and I'll talk to you about it. And I thought that was like, I didn't have anything to call you, but it made me like, okay, I'm not alone in this. Like, everybody's there and everyone's doing it. And I think you guys also do it through charity. So let's transition into that. Let's talk about the charities and what you do for the community, because that's another reason people can trust you, is that you've been showing up in the community for so many years.
So I'm going to start with when I started in the business in 2003, I really had no money. I mean, I came to Houston after a terrible financial reversal, and I ended up getting in the website business, and the only thing I could do for people was favors. And I kind of got recruited into the Heart Guild, and I started meeting people, meeting wives whose husbands could be my customers eventually if I was nice or did a favor. And my dad always taught me that if you do something nice for someone, it will come back. So I really built my network in the community, because what else was I going to do? And I did some crazy things, and we're not going to go into that now. But my favorite one is actually being at the registration desk at the Heart Ball and standing up to greet the CEO of Shell, because he was the honoree. And he ended up taking me into the VIP reception and letting me sit with him, the whole thing. So that was sort of my start. But that being said, as we built our business, the original business, 50% of our clients were nonprofits, which helped me stay engaged in what I loved the most. I could be in the community. I was building my business. I was supporting my family. I was doing all of that kind of stuff. Well, guess who's worse than I am? So, I mean, I'll let him take it away with what he always says.
No, but yeah. There is no one bigger than her in what she does, and incredible. But yeah, we always joke about, I've got the Catholic community and Little League covered. She's got the Jewish community and the nonprofits covered. And but our networks it is amazing. We do obviously have some overlap, but there's so much that we don't. And she's as networked as anyone in the world. And then, as I joke, my wife grew up here in the Catholic mafia, in Houston,
I'm
and
familiar
stuff.
with that.
Yeah.
It might resemble that.
And so, and she grew up and went to St. Agnes and all, and just through UT and other things. And I say in life, you get out of what you put into it, right? And so been president of the Texas Exes. Now I'm president of AVDA, which is Aid to Victims of Domestic Abuse. And, it's great relationships that you build out of these things, and great networks. And it just makes it a lot of fun. And, as I've said, in Houston, Texas, if you do a good job at what you do, there's more business than anyone can handle in this town.
And I found that the more you give, the more you receive. If you're giving with your heart to these charity events and functions, those people see that you're willing and that you're in it to help. They're willing to help you. That's how you get clients. That's how we get clients. That's how we built our business, by being good people. It's funny how that works. It's nice.
One of my favorite books is called The Go-Giver. It's a very quick read, and it's a really, really good book. And it talks about, giving, the more you give, the more you receive.
Well, I'm grateful that he's a giver. It's really been great for me. And he had to live with my PTSD for a little bit of, I kept waiting for him to like shut everything down, and he just didn't. He just didn't. But I think probably I watch him more than he watches me now with the giveaways.
So it's all good.
And you have a podcast also.
I do. Women Mean Business. It's kind of been erratic for the last year and a half. I mean, COVID certainly stepped on it. We were taking the fall off because I'm part of Gal Media, which is ESPN Sports Radio and I think Sports Map Radio now. And so football season was going to cut off our access, so we weren't going to do fall, and then COVID happened. So it's really it's almost fantasy right now. I'm waiting to restart it, and it's going to be very interesting because of course Astoundz is a sponsor, but Gal Media has been great, and we'll be part of She Space, which I'm so excited about. Hopefully we're going to podcast from there once we start. That's Stephanie Suru's new, and I forgot to even say, guys, look at that website. We're so proud of it. SheSpaceHTX.com. It's extraordinary, and it's opening in November. So I think I'm doing my first new Women Mean Business next week. And it's about extraordinary women doing extraordinary things. And you don't have to be working, but you have to have done something extraordinary. And in most cases, these women have been through some kind of fire. And whatever it was caused them to create something really extraordinary. And so I started like 8 or 9 years ago as part of the Business Makers and Houston Business Journal. I had like 60,000 downloads of it, over 5 years or what, which just ridiculously extraordinary, amazing. And now we'll see what happens. I don't know if I have your kind of energy to develop it again. Luckily, I have partners, to help.
We do not underestimate women in our household.
I like to say the original CEO's name was Mom. I will say that. I mean,
if Mom wasn't here, we wouldn't all be here. So
Hello.
yes.
That's right.
But I love what you said about Houston, because I do feel like it's different. It's not about who your family is or what your heritage is. If you show up and you try hard, you get a chance. And what I loved last night was Rob and Bella were in the kitchen when we were talking about women of distinction, and Beth Wolf came on, and I said, Bella, this woman changed so much of the path of women in Houston by starting her own real estate company as a woman. She was telling me that she was able to get a credit card for the first time on her own, being a single woman. So I think it's amazing that we have the opportunity to meet these different people and learn from them. And I think that that's the hard part of social media now. We just watch, I don't know if you guys have seen The Social Dilemma, but that
I want to watch. I have not, but I heard.
Scary.
Oh my gosh.
Dipped our head in the blender because these kids are so moved by the journeys of these people that aren't necessarily respectable people doing respectable things. They can get, and I certainly applaud. We have had so much success, so I'm not shooting the mouth that, or whatever. I'm not saying it's
cutting off the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, that too.
Right.
But I think that there's something about the balance of it all, and I want to go back to AVDA because there's domestic abuse, but most of it is against women. And something that I didn't initially think about during COVID was this incredible rise in the number of people affected by domestic abuse. And it didn't even come in initially because they couldn't even really call to say it. And
the kids weren't going to school, so they couldn't check up on the kids.
That's right.
And the kids would keep check up on the parents. And that whole checks and
circle.
balances we had because
Right.
we didn't have school. We didn't
Right.
have workplaces to go to.
We didn't have anything that was normal or however you want to call it. And AVDA, I think it's really important that people understand that what AVDA does is legal services. And until you get legally away, you are not safe. Houston Area Women's Center, many of the other organizations that deal with domestic abuse are providing housing and food and the escape itself. But you must be legally separated. You must be protected legally. I'm going to let Steve talk about this a little bit
Well, and that's
more.
what we help with the protective orders, right? And we also help with counseling. And so, if someone's out there and they just want someone to talk to, please get hold of AVDA. And, it's changed.
AVDA.
AVDA. It's avda-tx.org. But if you get out there and look up AVDA, we provide counseling and legal support to help you. Whether it's divorce, whether it's protective orders, you name it, kind of from A to Z, in helping get you support and all that. Obviously, we're then connected with all of the other agencies that can help in other areas too. So all of the counseling and support is there, and it's there free of charge if you don't have the financial wherewithal. That's what it's there for. So it's and unfortunately, like you say, we're really busy right now. And they also were set up well. We were set up with good technology and all that, so we've been able to work well remotely and been able to continue serving clients as even better than before, really.
Yeah, they've done an awesome job. And I just footnote here, I co-chair their gala, Home Safe Home, which is coming up on October 14th, and it's remote. So it's going to be really fun. Drive through at Minute Maid, picking up food from Patente. It's not too late. And then there was a great auction going on and a lot of other fun things.
We donated a Louis Vuitton duffel.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Yay.
Yeah.
We donated more stuff. Oh,
We
there we
did.
go.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
It's a good cause. I'm good.
Yeah, thank you.
They're
Thank
smiling.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
But interestingly, out of the blue, I co-chaired this thing 7 or 8 years ago, and then the next year I think also, and I think 2 years after that I kind of was the informal MC, and that's where I met Paula Winter at AVDA.
There you go.
There was Steve as a guest. And then, of course, we got together, and he was very involved, and then he became chair of the board. And I was never on the board. And so when he became chair, he said, will
Guess
you
what?
be on the board? And I said, isn't that double dipping? And he said, I don't think so. you
Yeah.
know? So now I'm the incoming chair. So
Oh,
he's not going
congratulations.
anywhere.
Yeah.
But
No,
we
it's
will,
been good.
we're going to be in there with them for a very, very long time. And I'm really proud of it. And the other thing I have to tout today
Yes.
is Real Men Wear Pink.
Yes, I noticed.
I've
He's
got my
he's
pink
got
shirt
his
on.
pink
I got
on.
my pink on.
Yes.
Today is the kickoff for anyone who doesn't know. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is the whole month of October, and one of the biggest campaigns is Real Men Wear Pink of Houston, and we've got 40 gentlemen, I think, wearing something pink every single day, and each of them is committed to raising $2,500, which you could do with $1. We don't at a time. We don't care how, but it's really fun, and Facebook is blown up with it, and that's been really great because again, it's virtual instead of, it's always been an incredible fashion show at Penner and quite an event, and the whole month is going to be virtual, but there's lots of contests and fun things going on. And it's at Real Men Wear Pink Houston on Facebook, and there's a website, and my husband Bob Bowman, if you don't want to donate to him, is
It's awesome.
There you go.
shameless plug.
Well, we send him out in our newsletter, but maybe in 2 weeks we'll give Bob a tiny little.
That's
We'll
right.
see. We'll see. He's got pink socks on today, I think.
What a cutie pie.
I know. So I've been married almost 8 months. I know.
You're still blushing newlywed.
I hope so.
And you are a survivor of breast cancer.
I am. I just had my 5th anniversary. Just rang the bell like 5 years ago in September. And laughingly had the biggest crowd they'd ever seen ringing the bell back when you could have people with you. But my friends all wanted to be there. Nobody really knew I had it or I was going through it because it was a very early stage. But I made the commitment to Methodist and to my doctors and to Baylor and the Lester and Sue Smith Breast Cancer Center that I would make as much noise as possible when it was over. So I had a very easy time of it, but I've certainly become engaged, and through the Dan L. Duncan Cancer Center at Baylor, I'm on the advisory board, and of course Real Men Wear Pink, and a year from now we'll be back bothering you with the new Tickled Pink luncheon that we're going to be doing for an
Fantastic.
American
And a real
Cancer
luncheon, not
a
a
real
virtual
luncheon
one.
at River Oaks Country Club in September, I think the 8th or something,
Okay.
2021. So
We'll be there. I'll
yes,
be wearing pink.
We know.
I wear pink. We wear pink quite. I'm going to wear pink tomorrow for breakfast if you show
Well,
up.
there you
Well,
go. All right,
pink
there
is
you-
our
perfect.
favorite color. You know, I mean,
Well,
seriously.
it's
My
Denise-
granddaughter Selma only wears pink, so we had a Christmas tree last year, and the tree was green, but everything on it was glittery and pink, and every wrapping paper was pink and shiny, and there is no other color but pink. You know,
Tell 'em.
hello, is pink your
have
favorite?
we have a pink Christmas tree in Bella's room.
Well,
She has a pink
I
frosted Christmas
relate.
tree.
I relate. We,
It's,
you know,
it's quite cute.
our house.
My
so-
friends all go, "You have a pink Christmas tree."
Yeah, Bob
yeah.
kind of got a green tree, but that was all that was green.
Fantastic. And it's a great cause because breast cancer not only affects women, it does affect some men
Oh.
also. And it's not something that's really known of either. but
We
it's-
have one of our candidates is a breast cancer survivor, and he's done really, really well. So it's a man. Yeah. So I think 3,300 men die a year of breast cancer. I mean, it's nothing like the women at 50,000 or something, but it's there and probably way harder to detect because who's getting mammograms as a man?
Right.
No one.
And after this many years of marriage, I'm like, yeah, she doesn't
She's
touch
not
my chest
touching
anymore.
it.
Her
We're
mom's
not
probably listening to this.
going
It's
there.
good they're not.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'm in trouble again.
Yeah, you
I
go.
was like-
like that you said that.
Did you see that kick under the table there?
You know, I'm the daughter of the guy that said everything other people only thought. You know,
Okay.
like just.
So let's transition into style. Both of you have amazing style. Tell us about who inspired your style. Was it your mom? Was it where you've lived in your life? Was
So let's 25 years in the fashion business. I have to give that
it- you
disclaimer.
have to. We haven't even talked about that.
Yeah, no,
I was
I
kind
mean-
of lobbing that to you, Lisa.
And years before that, I was probably the only child model with anyone who's old enough to remember the Sky Terrace at Sackwitz downtown. But every Saturday they had the most famous models in Houston. Back then it was Dallas Hill and Elsa Roseborough, and I think even Warner Roberts was one, whatever, and me. 25 years younger than them or whatever. I started at 14. I got paid $3.20 every Saturday and spent 32 because back then you could say charge it and they'd charge it to your mother, you know. But so probably my mother. I was on a runway with her when I was 4 the first time, I think, at for some charity something. And she was so chic my whole life, and she had so much stuff my whole life. She always had a mirrored dressing room. She always had incredible closets and jewelry. And when she died 2 years ago, we covered a king-size bed with her costume jewelry, not the real stuff. The costume
Wow.
jewelry and the handbags and scarves, but mainly costume jewelry. And the coolest thing, the day after the funeral, the 3 granddaughters and my sister and I went over and sat there and kept going through.
I love
My
that.
oldest niece was hiding. She was grabbing the Judith Lieber bags and hiding them under the covers. You know? But Mother was just a style icon. I mean, she really was. And my grandmother before her, my grandmother was the most beautiful woman in Houston in the 20s and 30s and 40s, and known for being that. So it was just part of my life. But I never intended it to be business. But my mother says I came out of the womb tap dancing and arranging flowers. And I've just arranged stuff.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I mean, if you let me at you, just, don't ask, because I will tell you what, if you really ask me what I think, I'm happy to give you.
There you go,
my
being
opinion.
authentic again.
Yeah. But I mean, I spent years, and like, I absolutely love fashion, and I love avant-garde fashion, and my favorite designer in the history of the world is Yohji Yamamoto, and I wore nothing but for like the 80s or what, you know what I mean? I was out there in black and billowing and all this kind of stuff. But the truth is, at this point, I love clothes that make women feel good and look pretty. And I think that's really important. And right now, there's not a lot, is it only waist up? I keep watching these things.
Yes.
Are we never looking again? But I know even the women in our office, they're much more dressed up than, they could come in T-shirts and jeans, but they really don't. I mean, they don't, because why not? And Tuesday, it was cool, and Cindy comes in a leopard print jacket. I'm in an animal print something. We're ready. We want to get dressed up. You feel better. You just feel, you feel better.
I've always said that.
Yeah.
On days I feel the worst, I want to dress the
Yeah,
best.
let's
because
go
at
play
least
ladies.
you can get a little skip in your step.
Play ladies. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think I'm so fortunate I've gotten to play ladies all of my life.
Oh, play
Yeah,
ladies. So what about your
yeah.
style, Steve? Are you a golf shirt guy with
style?
a jacket?
Yeah. No, I mean, I have fun.
He's very
Of course,
chic.
I've got.
I remember some plaid pants
Oh,
at a Christmas party.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So no, I get a little ribbon every once in a while for some of my stuff I have fun with, and of course, my wife is where a lot of it comes from, and we've had a great time though, because my boys are 22 and 24, so I know that some of my style's okay because they want to wear it. And
I
all
love that.
which is amazing that they still want to wear some of my stuff sometimes. But there's a place called Lansky's in Memphis that dressed Elvis, and they always have some great sport coats and stuff. And I bought several of them. His old wedding jacket was a black paisley wedding jacket that he wore that I wear as a tux jacket all the time, and I
love
always get
that.
compliments on it. So Lansky's has really been a lot of fun. Getting stuff, because then no one else really kind of has it around Houston, so it's kind of fun that way. And I'm a little bit of cowboy, a little bit too, boots and jeans and
Beautiful
all that.
boots,
But I like
though.
putting on
Yeah.
sport coats. I don't know, at the breakfast the other day, kind of had that was my lavender sports coat was from
Yes.
Lansky's, so fun.
He's
Yeah.
very chic. He's very chic.
I
he has
do notice
beautiful
that
ties.
you always
Beautiful ties.
And Rob has not. He didn't love fashion when we met, but I think he's noticed the difference now, how people respond to him when he dresses up. And he loves it. And he's so handsome with his new
He is so
beard.
handsome.
And
I don't know where the gray came
Yeah.
from.
I know,
Adam,
it's like-
Adam Sandler has. I saw him this morning on the Today Show, and he too has
Has the gray.
on the bottom. Everybody's telling him
But
to
I can
shave
see
it
he's
off.
got it looks like a custom shirt on. I like custom
Yeah.
shirts too, kind of fun. You can
Yes.
kind of design your own shirt a little bit, and just fun to do something a little different.
So we
Yeah.
have a really fabulous jacket that we have ordered that hasn't arrived. And we're working with a new clothier, Mickey Styles. I'll give him a shout out. And we photographed all of Rob's most incredible watches, and we're making an interior of a
Wow.
jacket. So when he goes to
He can
an
do
event,
this.
he can say, "You want to buy a watch?"
Oh yes, I'll
That is
look
the
like the
coolest.
flasher in the trench
That
coat,
is
but
the
yes.
coolest.
Yeah, a good friend of ours is doing this. His daughter's getting married, and he's got pictures of he and his daughter over growing up, and that's what he's having as a surprise
So
done
cool.
as the liner of his jacket.
Fantastic.
So that's
That
a great
is
idea
so
for dads out
cool.
there. What a
It
cool thing to do
is,
for your
yeah.
daughter is to line your jacket with their photos and stuff.
Wow.
Would be pretty special.
And you're a watch guy,
I am a watch guy too.
so
Yeah.
let's talk about watches. You two.
Yeah, my brother was a huge watch guy too. He loved them and all that. So it's been fun.
Yeah, Steve wears a bunch of fun sport Rolexes. We're not doing
Uh-huh.
a shout out to Rolex because they're the king. They're the 800-pound gorilla
Yeah.
in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a special one today. I bought that has a red dial that just came out. They came
Wow.
out with a whole new colored series:
Wow.
blue, yellow, green, red dials.
Wow.
And they did this in the 60s.
He did that for Astoundz.
Oh,
The
no,
red
He
dial.
did.
I do have a balance I owe you. But for men, it's what we enjoy. I enjoy putting on a sports coat, and I love to wear jeans if I'm wearing a sports coat if we have to go to an event or a party or something, and I will wear boots. But our accessory is our watch. It's what we do, and it's
Oh.
why every Wednesday I have my Wacky Watch Wednesday, and I talk about watches and
I love
fun
watches.
of all of it.
I have I am a watch, I love them, and I hate myself because I got addicted to my Apple Watch, and I complain about it all the time. I'm considering wearing both.
I wear two watches many
Yeah,
times.
because I just
And I'm not kidding. I do, and people look at me. I go, "That's what I do
Yeah.
for a living," and then they go, "Oh, that's okay then."
no.
You could be crazy.
Well,
I really miss
when
my
I
watches.
lost my dad years ago, really the only thing I inherited from him was a Beretta over and under shotgun. And I said, you know what? I wish he had had a nice watch, or something that I could have had. And
Right.
And so I said, I'm going to collect some nice watches, and all that. That's why I got you into the club, so I can start working on this here a little bit. And then the other thing is I got Jason Maida in the club too, because my other guy jewelry is belt buckles. Those
And Jason's fantastic. We're going to interview Jason soon.
Yeah.
And Jason and I have been buddies forever and ever, and we do business.
And he's kind of a coin nerd too. He likes coins and
he
paper
likes
money.
He likes the old Texas paper money, and then he likes the coins. And there's certain coins that I help him procure or sell to him that he makes into sheriff's badges and other
Wow.
cufflinks and other accessories
Wow.
for the business. So we've been working together for almost 2 decades.
Wow.
And then we have to give a shout out to our other friends, Tony Leal and Russell Molina. They just a couple of years ago bought the hat store, and that's a Texas institution, and that's
Yeah.
another way.
Wow.
Are you a cowboy hat guy?
I'm a cowboy hat guy.
I got a black hat yesterday.
Oh, there
I'm
you
gonna
go.
wear it tomorrow. I got my
Perfect.
first black hat. I've never
Yeah.
I've always been a silver belly because the black hat, the boys in black hats were bad boys, and I just
But you
wanted to
were-
try to be a
Whatever.
little bit.
Well, now we got this going with it. So yeah, you got a little bad
Exactly.
boy look going on. So it's all good.
Yeah, so we have this amazing opportunity. The Rolls-Royce Ghost has a new body style, and we're doing a photo shoot with Rolls-Royce North America and my friends at Tavero Jet tomorrow.
Wow.
Oh,
And I
fun.
thought it would be really cool to style with cowboy hats.
I agree
and so
with
he's
you.
going to wear, and we'll have different styles. It'll be high fashion too. But in Texas, you can wear a cowboy hat to a black
Oh,
tie
people do,
event.
and many
look
men
so-
wear
I wear
boots.
boots to tux events all the time because
Yeah.
it's A, I'm a little taller than I am that way, and
yeah.
B, I can get away with it, and they're more comfortable than tux shoes. Tux shoes are horrible.
I've always worn boots with my tux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so authenticity. Tell us, how do you meet someone? You're trying to figure out authenticity. You want to know if you should partner with them, if you should collaborate with them. Like, how do you what's kind of your gut feelings on that? How do you figure out, like, Rob wasn't so easy to get to know in the beginning, but yet you were so generous to offer him to join your organization. It's a hard thing to know in business and personally.
I don't know. It's one of those things, and it's funny because we laugh about it. We have some other couple friends, and we're just out. My wife doesn't want to trust anyone, and it takes a long time to get into her deal. And I will trust you up front and let you ride in, but I try to ask questions and what do you like? What do you do? And I think you can get a pretty good read on people pretty quickly. But I also I pay a lot more attention to what people do than what they say. And
I
that's
love
always
that.
something that I've always lived by, So I don't, what are your actions and things like that? And because of our networks and all that, typically it's an introduction through someone and things like that too.
A vetting process.
Yeah,
well, a little bit. I mean, just by
but not much for either one of us. I
Yeah.
have to say, we're pretty open
Yeah.
people. The one thing that I've learned over the last few years is if someone shows you who they are, believe them. Just
Yeah.
stop trying to fix them because you're not going to, and they are that. The one thing Steve has really brought to the table, and something that we live by, which I think makes us very authentic, beyond transparency and communication and no surprises and all of that, is that we have no contracts at Astoundz. We want you working with us because you want to work with us, but we want to work with you because we want to also. We haven't fired a lot of clients, but there have been a few.
Yeah.
And there's a level that we feel like we're partners with our clients. We don't ever feel like we're looking at your next payment. That is not what we're doing at Astoundz. And believe me, it takes training to change your head from your client, your customer is a number, to having enough. And we kind of live a life where we have enough, and our goal is to make you have enough. And so I think that makes it easier for us to work with other people and to have authenticity in what we're doing.
And your best advocate or your best advertising in any business is
Our clients.
a happy client tells 1 or 2 or 3
Oh,
people
it's
how
been
great it is,
amazing.
whereas a bad one will tell a dozen.
It's been
Yeah.
amazing.
And it's how we built our business completely, and
Yeah.
how we came to you also through people we knew that used you and spoke wonderfully. And because I remember I was the scaredy cat who was kicking and screaming.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and you know,
Yeah.
and because we enjoy what we do, and it's fun. I mean, and you know, with when you all sit there and go, oh my gosh, this is really working or whatever, that gives us fun. That's satisfaction for all of us, you know. And you know, and when you get in some accounts and some clients that are in really, really competitive things, you know, and they're, you know, they have $100 budget and they want to compete with Home Depot, you're just not going to get there, you know. And so those are things where you got to be realistic about it also. But when you can collaborate and work on this stuff, it really is fun and it's exciting to see what can happen with it. You know, and you know, we try to do everything as we always call it with, you know, it's called white hat SEO or whatever. You know, we're not doing anything to game the system. It's all legitimate, and so you know, as things go, and this stuff does take time, but it's really fun to watch it and you know, work on it together.
And
Well,
I've
we've
had a
had it.
blast. Like, I think our designer is as good as anyone I've ever worked with in fashion or in technology. And she sits there, as you know, she doesn't say a word. She's, I don't know, think
She
she's 5 feet
listens.
tall. She listens. She's very quiet. Her voice is soft when she does speak. I'm always going, do you have enough information? Do you have, like, you know, like the hovering mother? And then she puts out 2 designs that are like, just knock your socks off. And so it's continuous. So for me, that's been so much fun. And even, I'm sort of the person that, I'm not a technophobe. I've learned so much in the 3.5 years I've been with Steve, like more than I really learned in the first 14 by far. But the one thing I know is our mission, one search, one click, and with one company. I go to Google, I look on the first page. Sometimes I don't even scroll on the first page, okay? I click, I better get what I want when that website comes up. I'm not playing around looking for it there either. So that whole one search, one click mentality is the thing I guess I sort of bring to the table. Like, I feel like most people are like me. They don't have 2 minutes, other than millennials who'll dive deep into anything. They have minutes. I don't. And so I think that that's the other thing that's really been great for us, is that we've consistently, you know, let you find what you're looking for, and that's been important for us. You know, and that I think that goes to authenticity too, is keeping that promise.
It does. And like I said, all we're trying to do is astound you. We joke about it, but that's truly it. I mean, we do want it to be a very good experience. And, you know, my analogy is just like building a house. And the more you can design it and get what you want in the design up front before you pour the foundation, and that's where it takes just good feedback and working with each other. And if you do that and have a good collaborative experience, it's a lot of fun.
And don't you have a slogan
Which
at Astoundz? We do the work so you don't have to. Or
no, we worry about your website and SEO so you don't have to.
There you go.
That's
See?
it. Absolutely.
Cute.
Absolutely.
How'd you get him to pay so much attention? I need to know that.
I'm not sure. He liked it.
Well, Brene Brown, who is one of my
we love her.
favorite gurus, she says authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, the choice to let our true selves be seen. And you have shown us your true selves, and you guys are amazing, and you've been the best guests. So thank you.
Thank you. This
Thank
was
y'all
really
very much.
fun.
Very
Thanks
fun.
for having us, and thank you for your business.
No, thank you too. And
I think we're doing new stuff too soon.
We
I'm
are.
so
excited.
excited.
Yes, we're on the
Thank you.
first page on most everything, and we're going to give you more fun words to work with. And I'm going to stop at the doctor on the way home and get a little ice for my knee. Only got kicked one time.
There you
from
go.
her.
Good. Perfect.
So
There
this
you
was
go.
a good podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, thank you guys.
you.
Yes,
Thanks
yes,
for
I
having
really
us.
enjoyed it.